my grandmother, and it's good to just hang out and visit. I just have some words to say. For anyone who does not know me, Rosemary Barrows was my grandmother. She was a great woman. Rosemary was dearly loved by her daughter, 2 grandsons, and 4 great-grandchildren, their spouses, and her friends. Although she came from simple beginnings, Rosemary worked very hard and was an independent woman. Hard work and determination characterized this strong and loving mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. She was born to Mary Machado Tavares and John C. Tavares in Britannia, San Miguel, in January 1929. At the time of her death, she was 88 years old, 13 days short of 89. She lived a tremendous life and cherished her family. She especially loved her great-grandchildren. Her childhood is best described as both humble and wondrous. While her family got by on what meager money they made from their small farm, young Rosemary worked and helped to take care of her brothers and sisters, as she was the oldest of 10 children. Rosemary moved to Fall River, Massachusetts from Port English by listening to the local radio, and being the oldest, worked to help her family financially. She met my grandfather, Peter Nelson, while he was in the armed service, and they were married and moved to Dillingham, Alaska shortly after. This opened up a whole new world for her as she learned to live off the land. Grandpa Pete taught her how to hunt, trap, and fish. She was one of the first women in Bristol Bay to fish commercially. While in Alaska, fishermen while raising my mom. Rosemary then settled in beautiful San Jose, California. She loved her backyard and helped others by renting rooms in her house. Each summer, following her passion for Alaska, she traveled back to the Queen Fisheries on the Nishigack River to work. Rosemary would serve the fishermen of the cannery for 40 years as a cook, waitress, and laundry lady. While keeping true to her entrepreneurial spirit, she also fished her own net and selling her fish back to the cannery she worked. I love my grandmother very much and will miss her dearly. Her lifetime of dedication and self-sacrifice serve as a monument to the exemplary woman she was. Her humility, integrity, and hard work continue to inspire those who knew her. At the end of every day, as we rest from our labor, every person asks himself, have I made my family proud? And did I make the world? Mother and grandmother, this is the way Rosemary Barrows lived her life. My grandmother meant the world to me, and we went on many adventures together. We went to Fall River, Massachusetts, Loch Lahash, BC, Reno, Nevada, Three Rivers, Michigan, and it was always an adventure. She also gave my brother and myself many gifts. I'll never forget how Vovo helped and guided me over the years, generously sharing her time and experience. On one occasion when I was 10 or 11, she asked me what I wanted for Christmas. Of course, as any young man does when dialoguing about Christmas presents, I shot for the moon. And I asked my Vovo for a kitty cat. And she replied back to me, why do you want a kitty cat? You already have 2 cats. And I said back to her, no, Vovo, not a cat. I want a kitty cat. A snow machine that is called a kitty cat for young guys like myself and my brother. And by hook or crook, my brother and I on Christmas Day were proud owners of a brand new Arctic cat snow machine called a kitty cat. My grandmother spoiled us with gifts, and that kind of generosity and caring characterized the great woman I had the privilege to call Vovo. The last part of her life, she was focused on her great-grandchildren, as she loved them immensely. She is the reason my daughter got addicted to murder mysteries like the Forensic Files that we before. Our son Malachi loved helping her in her wheelchair, even sometimes taking her for a ride. And you could see her love for Anthony and Adrian as her eyes lit up whenever she was around them, and always committing to visiting them in California with the help of my mom. Rosemary was an adventurous soul, and she loved to travel, and she loved her family deeply. Vovo was not able to be with me everywhere I went physically in my time knowing her, but she walked every step with me spiritually. She was always thinking about us, praying for us, and very excited for us in each adventure that we have taken as men. She was the nucleus of our family, and we will truly miss her. There is no better gift than loving your children. I was truly blessed to have a grandmother like that. Rosemary will be sorely missed, both by her family and her friends and people like me whom she helped and inspired. But as she rests from her life's long labor, this great woman, mother, and friend should know that she has made this family proud, and I was blessed to be her grandson. The world is most definitely a better place because of my Vovo, a woman who loved with all her heart and soul, showed us the example of love through our Lord Jesus Christ. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth be moved, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with swelling thereof. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall come to her aid at early dawn. I'm just going to say a quick prayer, and my brother's going to come up and talk. Please bow. Dear Lord, I just want to thank you for this time. Just thank you for my grandmother and this time to celebrate her, and just be in the midst of us, and just thank you for the gifts you give us, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Amen.